good game plan for the week, but it really feels at home being at the PGA of America's home facility and just feel like this is our place. I had a great tour at headquarters on Tuesday and super impressive to see what has been built for the PGA of America members and associates and how to learn and create great careers in golf. So it feels really special to be on these grounds and then also be a part of the golf tournament.
That's great. Open it up for questions, starting with Jill.
What's inspired you to teach others?
What inspired me to teach others is to really share my knowledge with others to make sure that they don't feel as frustrated as I have felt in my own game, to really demystify the complexities of the golf swing, to bring more joy into the sport because I know how frustrating it can be for others. And I think that when I have a particular solution for a person in mind, I'm able to articulate it in a very clear and simple way that makes them feel like they can own their game and they can improve their game. And then it just brings a smile to their face, making them want to participate in the game even more.
The work and research you've done and, mentally coaching others, how do you use that for yourself? Is it easier said than done when you're out here with a tough test like this?
It is easier said than done. I think that as a golf coach, it's hard to put my own eyes on my own swing to analyze things, so I'll use other consultants to help me. And the same thing for psychology. Even though I have my doctorate in psychology, you'd think I'd be able to help myself, but it's certainly a lot easier to have a second set of ears, eyes, and mouth to be able to change ideas and maybe pick out some holes in my paradigms and change my belief system. My studying in psychology is very helpful when I'm teaching all lessons because of my approach, my ability to kind of understand the student from the inside out, not only from the outside in. And I think that that's really helpful in order to teach holistically the student rather than just fix golf swings. So I certainly have a lot of golden nuggets in my mind and a lot of lessons that I've learned, but it's sometimes easier to have other people translate that information to me rather than for me to be my own therapist.
Over to Juan.
So Joanna Cole was talking yesterday about your work and how many of her students you are helping or have helped. And I wonder how many golfers have you helped so far and how many are you working with currently?
I would say in total lifespan, I've helped over 20,000 golfers play better. I teach over 1,900 lessons a year. Within my clinical sports psychology private practice, I work over 10 to 15 hours a week. So you start doing the math and it's hundreds of people and thousands of people. And hopefully I'm able to touch them in such a way that it brings some joy and light to their game and also empowers themselves to be the best version of themselves, whether it's through golf or other sources.
So in a week like this, in a competition like this, are there key things that you think the players should tell themselves when they confront frustration, when there's like bad breaks and things like that?
I would say it's a lot of cliches that we've all heard, own your game, play your own game. I think from the times that I've been on the golf course, the things that I've said to myself that have been helpful is really to be authentic to my game. So there's long drivers out there, there's great putters out there. It's certainly easy to try to be someone else or do something else. And it's important for me to remember like what my strengths are and to stay within my own space, stay in my own lane, do the things that I do really well, and stay true to that. I think this golf course is going to require a lot of patience because there's some challenging tests on the greens, there's some challenging tests in length, and challenging tests in the rough. And so to be patient and to know that there's going to be some peaks and valleys throughout the round, to not get overly excited or overly sad about something, and just to kind of stay in the present moment is going to be my strategy, and certainly I think that's great for everybody to apply.
So how much do you listen to yourself?
I would say 80%. I'm good about 80%.
Marie.
So what does it mean to you to represent the LPGA professionals out on this major stage? And what do you hope fans will realize about the talent and impact of LPGA teaching professionals?
It certainly means a lot to represent the 1,900 LPGA professionals across the globe, not just the United States, but the globe, because it's very special to play at an elite level. It's also special to show everyone how club professionals and teachers are not just in their job, but they also have passion to play at the most elite level. I think my students really feel a sense of inspiration when they see me try hard things and do hard things, even when they see me fail and they see me succeed. I think it's very inspiring for them. It humanizes us, it normalizes us. So it's very it's very honorable to me to stand in front with the LPGA logo on my sleeve and my hat, as well as the PGA logo, and representing both organizations. I know my students are proud of me, and they're going to be rooting me on.
And then how does this event so far compare to past KPMGs that you've played in?
I was sharing this with another colleague. I've been through 8 of these. I've been through 2 LPGA Wegmans, then as the PGA has taken it over, and it has evolved each and every year. And so over the course of, I think, 13 years now, playing in 8 of these, I've seen it completely evolve, and I would say this by far is the best. And I don't know if I'm biased just because it's on PGA of America property, but I think the Corebridge Financial that has jumped on board, I think the move to Frisco, Texas for the PGA of America has been exceptionally helpful. I think having KPMG, the longevity of that relationship for this tournament is incredibly inspiring. It's elevated the purses. I look at the purses from 2013 when I first started to play to now, exponentially have grown. And so by far, this is the best.
Jim?
The teaching aspect, did you always fascinated and wanted to teach? Because I know I've talked to instructors who said, okay, once I knew I couldn't quite make it competitively because it is so difficult, and then they became passionate about teaching. Others always wanted to just teach. Where were you?
I have a very unique journey into this career. I never wanted to be a golf professional. I wanted to be the next LPGA superstar. I idolized Annika Sörenstam, and I wanted to be the next Annika. And after college, the cards just weren't in my favor in that way, and I sort of fell into the golf industry. And once I had experience through all the different departments, I realized that the most fun is when I was outside helping people learn to play the game. And so that's when I realized that teaching, if I'm going to stay in golf, teaching is the place where I feel like it's not a job and it's the most fun for me. So I would say that I sort of fell into it, and it's given me an opportunity to continue to work on my game and to continue to reach my dreams of playing competitively.
And I'm just curious, do instructors like yourself sometimes, do they have more pressure on them when they, okay, now I'm in the competition? Is there sometimes a little more pressure that you think, okay, my students are looking at me and I'm supposed to know how to do this?
I have a very unique perspective on pressure, and that's from my psychology background. I think pressure is self-induced. There's no such thing as pressure unless we create it. So if I create a narrative in my head, as you've just mentioned, everyone's watching me, I hope that I make my students proud, that will create my own pressure. But if I take away that narrative and I just focus on, I'm a golfer, I'm a competitor this week, hit the ball in the fairway, hit the ball in the green, make the putt and move on, that pressure isn't in my atmosphere anymore. So in terms of the teachers playing in this event, I think that we're looked at quite differently, but we're very supported. I think everyone is very appreciative that we're able to represent our organizations and try to play the best golf that we can.
Jesse?
You recently became the first female president of the Southern California PGA section. What inspired you to get involved on that level of your membership?
It started with someone touching me on the shoulder saying, hey, I think you should get involved at a bigger level. And so I started serving on the board at the section level. And then PGA governance is a little bit different than the LPGA governance, where you then have to put your name in the hat to become secretary, then you move on to VP and president. And so the cards just sort of laid themselves out where I was engaged in helping the section and bringing ideas. And someone mentioned to me after I won Section Golf Pro of the Year, which is the highest honor in the section, hey, you should consider becoming an officer. And so I put my name in the hat, and I didn't get selected the first time. And I thought, okay, it's just not my time. That individual who was selected moved on to a different section. And they said, the spot is open, would you like it? And I said, absolutely. And from there, it's interesting how the timing worked out great, that after 100 years of our section celebrating our centennial, I became the first female. I became the 42nd president when I turned 42 years of age. And it just, everything worked out the way it was supposed to work out. So it's a great honor to serve the 1,800 members of the Southern California section, to continue to involve Southern California. We are leaders in the industry. We are leaders across the country. And so I'm really proud that we're able to include more women on our board, create more inclusion and diversity. as well as amplify the programs that our section runs. So it's a great honor to me, and certainly I'm very proud to have that.
So I wonder what have been the advantages for you of being both an LPGA pro and a PGA professional, and if it's something that you would recommend to any LPGA pro or to any woman that is a PGA professional.
I've had many doors open up for me being a dual member of both organizations, and I would 100% suggest that any female make sure that they are a dual member, because both organizations offer such different and unique benefits, whether it's through competition space and playing, whether it's through the education. And to be a member, we call it dual is cool. So to be a member of both organizations is, for me, the only way that I think a woman can fully succeed and enjoy all the wonderful benefits that golf can give you. So I highly recommend it.
We haven't talked about the golf course yet, so kind of your impressions and what is going to be the key for you here.
The golf course is tough. It's a long walk. It's gorgeous. It is young. It is in great condition, unique. 96 bunkers, I heard, that's on the golf course. The rough is thick. The green speeds are increasing. When the wind starts to pick up, it makes you think a lot. It's a championship golf course. It's exactly what the PGA had envisioned, and here we are putting that dream into fruition. I think the key for me is certainly short game, because I expect to miss a fair amount of greens. It's just challenging. Some are rather small, and we've got 190 into a postage size stamp green. It's hard. So I'm expecting to make some up and downs, and I feel confident in my pitching and chipping and putting. And just to really stay patient, because as the conditions changed, we went today from some rain to some wind to some humidity. So I know the climate is going to be ever changing, and just to be embrace and open to all the environmental conditions that are going to be moving. So I'm going to be patient and just also enjoy the process.
Great. Thanks for your time, Alison.
Thank you
We
so much.
it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.